Good morning, YouTubers of CentrePort. YouTubers of CentrePort. There's a lot to talk about this morning, but I just want to thank you guys for encouraging Brian and I going forward. What we're going to be talking about is commenting, and it might take me, again, all day. Things are not going very well this morning here. Unfortunately, Brian couldn't even get me dressed today, so he couldn't even get me my shoes on. So we've got some problems here, and thankfully Trudy's here, but Brian wanted to keep Trudy sleeping. So unfortunately, Brian's digressing a lot. He's not able to speak as well sometimes, and those kind of things. So what affects him affects me. And thankfully, though, we've got some good people, which are YouTubers for CentrePort, and Brian, Laura, Becky, Trudy, and Tess. So I appreciate you guys, each one of you. You're being a real encouragement to Brian. He wouldn't have had such a good day this morning if it weren't for you guys. He remembered the days in Periscopians of CentrePort, and he never got the momentum he wanted or the help that he wanted there, and you guys are doing an outstanding job. So again, a lot of these times, and I'm already seeing things coming up right here. So now, someone just liked, Tess, you just liked comment 001, welcome friends of CentrePort. I copied that. Now, one thing we want to do, there's several, so this is the assignment for today, which you guys have already done. In fact, I'm already starting to write the page for today. On Friday, October 6th, 2017, the morning started as usual, blah, blah, blah. And it goes into talking about the thread that was created and the other thread, and it'll hopefully talk about how how myself and Brian are working out, where we're putting the thread behind us and moving towards the thread ahead. But again, Brian and I are always focused on creating more of the perfect page and trying to write the pages of the book, which takes up a lot of our time. So the more you guys everybody else can participate in these other ways, you're doing a great job today. I'm not only is Brian and I impressed, but we're very impressed today. So the objective today is take your comments, usually take it from left to right, however you want to, but usually it's from left to right, and there's reasons for that. Take it from YouTube and copy it over to the portal, what we call the what is it called? It's called YouTubers for CentrePort. Now this is very important. We posted up the video from the 4th. Now it's the 6th, but you're able to copy comments over. Now, the only other thing that I'm noticing, when you copy comments over, I want you to pay attention to like for instance, the topic was perfect commenting, but no one is using the mention of perfect commenting. No one mentioned that in their comments that I saw. Not yet, anyway. So a lot of these things, like for instance, talking a lot about fractal framework. Now these are sometimes things that pages are created for. For instance, if I say perfect comment, that is a page, but you can't use an @ sign in YouTube. So this is why we're training you to go from YouTube and copy it over to Facebook in the YouTube support portal. Now, it would be great if everything was on one single platform, right? Well, that's the journey. Actually, that's the journey of the book. That's the journey of living online. That's showing how complicated living online is in the year 2017. But hopefully we'll go forward and we'll be able to do this in a better way. But again, and in the morning, understand that these are going to be, a lot of these, it'll probably be a lot of thumbs down journeys until we can get some thumbs up. And some days we won't have a thumbs up, which means, so for instance, Brian and I will be working on the page and our mind is all over the place, trying to do this, trying to do that. The only thing that's helping us go forward is if we can work with a group of people where if you've got a classroom and you're trying to teach this and you've got 5 people that don't know what a pencil is, that's really hard to teach anybody, right? So in the same way, I have to always be, myself and Brian have to always be working with the people that are the most elite of the group, which isn't that elite yet, but you're getting there. So you know what now a perfect comment is. Now, we always call it a perfect comment? No. A lot of these terms that we use, we have hundreds of terms, hundreds of pages we'll be mentioning over the time in the course. But the way we're taking this journey, we're actually building the book, and every page is like a leaf in the tree. Every page is a leaf in the tree. These are phrases that you want to get, every page is a leaf in the tree. That might be something you want to quote me on, because this is something that we want. These are concepts that are being translated and people that will understand concepts going forward. Again, what is the goal after 451 pages of the book? Well, we have to know that we're going to operate as a community. Actually, how are we living online? How are we doing it? So because eventually, this is the goal. So eventually, if we're a productive society online, then really people could start outsourcing stuff to CentrePort, and CentrePort could start making our own living online. And that's not for everyone. Some of the things you're doing, eventually I can delegate commenting right now because you guys can do it. And sometimes you'll delegate. For instance, right now, there are people that are commenting on this video, but from 2 days ago, I don't have time for that, nor does Brian. So what we'll do is we'll mention in today's thread, hey, can you bring these people aside, tell them, or whatever. And for instance, the people that are coming on board, that are making comments, I won't be able to bring from previous days, okay? And that's the big challenge that we're running into. Now, I understand, again, this is just ramping up this morning. This is the first video of the day. A lot of times, don't worry if you can't watch all the videos for one day because we don't expect that. We just have to I have to do the best I can with what I've got. And if Brian's having a hard time, I'm having a hard time. And so in that day, we might not get any ones that are good thumbs up, but it's the only way that Brian and I can communicate with the team. This is the best way we have. So unfortunately, some things are really happening health-wise for us, and this is why we're hoping to get this book done before we get too old, because for some reason, there's just something's not working lately, and we don't know if it's just overstressed, or we don't know if it's lack of nutrition. We have no idea why it is, but we don't need feedback on that. We'll figure that out at the home front. Now, again, remember, normally these videos will take on, it will always talk about assignments. What is the assignment today? The assignment is to copy your comments over from YouTube, which I don't have up here. I can only have 2 or 3 things up. And then, but if you don't know, ask Becky or Tess because they've already done it. And that's what I'll need you guys to do, because eventually I'll need you guys showing the new people. Now, the other thing is these videos will always take the form of what, why, who, how, where, when, which is the cue. What, why, who, how, where, when. Now, and then also it'll be applied to individuals, household, businesses, communities, and CentrePort, the city. And that's what we call the fractal framework. I keep using the word fractal framework, and there should be a page up for fractal framework. Unfortunately, again, understand when one person or 2 people are doing this, one person is trying to manage the pages, do the commenting, do the videos. As you can see, like Brian has said many times, he says someone can know how to build a skyscraper, but they're not going to do it by themselves. They're going to work their whole life if they do it by themselves, and they're not going to get it done. Same thing with the City of Links. The journey is to build the City of Links. Will we ever accomplish it together? Well, that's the journey. We don't know. We're still writing the book on the manual. But the idea of the Book of Links, is when you put the Book of Links down, you'll be able to, it's Book of Links and Living Online are the same thing. Living Online is the Facebook page, and Living Online is the book. But it is in fact a book of, it's also hashtag Book of Links. So if you were to make this in a comment, Living Online, you could put, when you translate it over, you can't use a mention, but when you transfer it over to YouTube, to Facebook, anywhere in Facebook, you can use @Living Online. Now, you have to be careful because there's a Living Online page and there's a Living Online group. And this is where it's going to take practice. This is why this journey of perfect commenting is so important. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to see how long will it be. If we create a curriculum for perfect commenting, can we do it in one day? Do we have to do it over the course of the week? I want to know feedback from you. What do you think it should do? Perfect commenting, you haven't learned it all yet, and you don't know why we're doing perfect commenting. We haven't gone over the why. So in the day, I could go over 10 points and still not be done with it. But we need to talk about the who, the how, the what, the why, the where, the when. And part of that, I don't even know how to describe it. So I'm going to have to just show you, and then we're going to go forward. So, and then we'll see how that applies differently for individual accounts on Facebook or your household or whatever. And we'll go from there. So this is, anyway, this has been kind of hard to get through this morning, but you guys are working harder than Brian and I. So I want to get this out. Thanks.